Hey, welcome to this lesson on how to get clients. This is one of the biggest, most frustrating parts for people, which is, hey, I've learned the skill. I just don't know how to go get clients. And there are two things that we really want to talk about. And the two big things are going to be inflow and outflow. And why these are so important is most of us just think, well, if I just tell the world once that I do a skill, that people will magically come to me and appear and I will get clients. And unfortunately, that's just not how the world works. It's possible, and every once in a while, someone hits a home run. But that's not what we want. We want to teach you reliable ways for you to drum up business, because after all, the goal of this program is to have you having paid clients. So let's talk through this. Real quick, we've got inflow. Inflow is when people come to you. And this is probably the greatest misconception I see with small business owners. And that's how we're going to approach you, as someone who has your own skill that you can provide business for. So the biggest mistake I see is people sit there and they're like, hey, I have a website. People will magically come to it and submit my form, and all of a sudden I'll have all this business. And if we rely on that, we're relying on things out of our control. We don't control how many people are coming to our website. We don't control what type of people are coming to our website. It is a great way to grab business, and when it does come in, they tend to be really good people because they've reached out to you, they've searched you out, but we can't control how frequent that's going to be. Whereas outflow is when we directly reach out to potential customers or clients. So if you look at this way, right? Every time that Alex and I message someone, that is outflow, versus when someone messages us, that's inflow. And this is really, really, really important because most people want to focus over here, and it's a passive thing, right? It's a passive, I'll sit and wait. We don't want to get caught relying on that. What we want to focus on is building systems to do outflow, right? And it's painful. You get rejected a lot, but that's okay. It's a part of learning what it means to be a business owner, meaning the people that do the work that other people don't want to do get rewarded for the work that other people don't want to do. So real quick, we're going to go through how to actually set you up on these, and I'm going to be the one teaching you through how to actually do this. And some of the lessons, some of your instructors have shown you bits and pieces of this, and we're going to go deep into this now. So the very first thing is inflow, right? Everyone here is going to be making their own personal brand website. On that website, you're going to have a form, and you're going to have a link to Calendly, which is where people can schedule a time to talk with you. So that's going to be one form of inflow, right? That means someone could find your website, they could submit a form and say, hey, I'm interested in your services, and schedule on your Calendly. So that's one form of inflow. The second is going to be something like Fiverr.com. So if you're not familiar with Fiverr.com is a place where you can go list job postings or your services. So I could go to Fiverr.com, as you're going to see, create an account and say, hey, I build websites, here's my rate, and here's a sample of my portfolio. And so what people are millions of people daily are actively searching on Fiverr for people to help them with projects. And so that's where we're going to go. Fiverr is going to be one place we're going to post our services. Next place is going to be Upwork. Upwork is very similar to Fiverr and a little bit different, but for the most part, it's the same thing. Right? It's a place where we can list our own services, and that where people are actively searching can come and say, hey, I really liked your portfolio. I saw you on Upwork, and I'd like to potentially work with you. That's going to be another place for inflow. Next is going to be Craigslist. People think Craigslist is dead, but honestly, if you make posts on Craigslist, people will still reach out to you. People will still reach out to you and say, hey, like people are actively, hundreds of thousands of people every single day are looking on Craigslist for help for a project that they have. And then lastly is going to be content. And this is one of the places where I see people really spend so much time on content, right? Content is, I'm going to make content like video content or written content or audio content, and I'm going to talk about the services that I do with the hope that people will reach out to me for help. And what's interesting about this is, so content, if you look at these, compared to these, website form, Fiverr, Upwork, and Craigslist, these are places, especially these three, is where we have a whole database of people already looking for help for a problem that they have. This, we don't know if people are actually looking for help with the problem. We're creating content, what we call, hopefully spark their interest in needing our services, right? And so this is where you see a ton of people focus, and it actually doesn't have the highest yield until you get to a certain level where you no longer need to be doing this and you have so much inflow that then you can focus on just content. So that is inflow. When we're going to work on this, like you're going to be able to set this up. We're going to walk through how do you set up a posting on Fiverr, how do you set up a posting on Upwork, how do you set up a post on Craigslist. And then we're not really going to dive into content because I find it the least effective early on. It is a total hit and miss type thing, right? So that's inflow. We're going to set that up. The second piece is outflow, and this is where you can make an absolute killing when it comes to finding clients and people to work with. So how do we do this? We're going to talk about email outreach. We're going to talk about social outreach. We're going to talk about asking for referrals. We're going to talk about value videos, and we're going to talk about paid advertising. In this course, we are not going to go into paid advertising, but of course you're learning how to do Facebook ads, how to do Google ads. So you can apply this to your own services, right? So you're learning how to do it for other businesses, but you can also do it for your own business and your own services. But I don't recommend starting here. This is for when you're making enough money from all these other resources that you don't have enough time to do this anymore, that then you could focus on paid advertising. Okay, so email outreach, right? Email outreach means that you can go and find every small business in your town on the local Chamber of Commerce website. We're gonna walk through this. How do you go find their email address? And you can reach out to them, look up their website, look up their social media, look up all this stuff, and send them an email and say, hey, my name's Will. I saw that you have a great website. Here's what I loved, right? We're gonna do a compliment sandwich. I love this. Here's what I saw that I think could be improved. And here's another thing that I loved. Let me know if you need help with that middle thing. So that's what we're gonna do with email outreach. Social outreach is the same thing, right? So if you go to, we can look up all these small businesses in town just through Google or the local Chamber of Commerce, and we're gonna find their social channels. Where are they active? Is it their Facebook page? Is it their Instagram channel? And we're gonna message them through there, letting them know of our services and how we're able to help them. Cool. And then third is we're going to ask for referrals. So as you start to have clients, this is one thing that people just grossly underestimate, is asking for referrals. So we're going to do the curious student posting, right? So the very first week of this, we make you make a post saying, hey, over the next 10 weeks, I'm going to learn this specific thing, these specific skills. If you need help, let me know. That's literally asking for a referral from your network base. If you or anyone you know needs help with that, please comment here and I'll be able to talk to them. And then once you start having people who are getting results, you're going to ask them for referrals. We'll talk about down the road how you can do like refer a friend programs and all that kind of stuff. But for now, just be able to ask your network for referrals, your friends and your family, right? And then value videos, which is the last thing we're going to dive into, which is how do I go find a business who is really struggling online? Like you can go right now on Google, type in local businesses or businesses near me or small businesses near me. You'll get a whole listing of businesses. Click on all their websites. I guarantee you, especially on the second, third, fourth page and beyond of Google, you will find really poor websites. And what you've got to do, and what we're going to walk through, is how do you make a video, a screen share, right? Like, so just like this, I'm going to share my actual screen and we're going to walk through their website in like 3 minutes. It's like, here's what I see, here's what I like, here's what I would change. If you would like to get on a call, and this is what my team does all day, we just go and we change these things. If you would like that, give us a call, schedule on the button below or shoot me a message. And I would love to talk to you about fixing your website or improving your website. That might even be a better way. So we'll get into the details of this. I just wanted you to know the difference between inflow and outflow. Absolutely critical that most people spend so much time on inflow hoping for responses versus going out and attacking the marketplace using outflow strategies. So we're going to go in. Let's dive into each separate category.